In this video, let's talk about Fruitas. So if you want to know more what the charts are telling us, check this video out. Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and smash that bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing, about the stock market, all with one goal. I want you to use the stock market to help you reach your goals of financial freedom. I want you guys to win. I want you guys to be able to use these assets to be able to build wealth for you, not just now, but repeatedly over a stretched period of time. So if there's anything that you like about this video, I really appreciate it if you can press like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get updated every time. So enjoy the rest of the video. Hey guys, so here we are again talking about the top stocks that you guys requested via social media. Now we're gonna talk about Fruitas. Fruitas, as you all know, last year had a very, very interesting IPO. Before it came out into the market, there was a lot of talk that, hey, this stock will move up because it has a very, very small float. And people were saying that a small stock with just a few shares moving around have the ability to go up. And given that KPPI a few months before that was a very, very small stock also that started to zoom up, a lot of people were saying, this might happen also for Fruitas. And if you follow the trend, those stocks that were bigger than it, Axelum and All Home, really didn't move as high, really didn't move as much. So there was a lot of talk that, hey, since this might be the last IPO of the year, it might do better. It might be something that, hey, will work at a certain level for the stock. So that's what we're going to talk about, and that's what we're going to glean on. So please remember this. All of the things that I'm going to talk about here are basically based on technical analysis. As you all know, technical analysis just looks at the price action, just looks at what the chart is actually saying off of the stock as well. Because as you all know also, when you start using technical analysis, I think that's one of the biggest advantages of it. It allows you to be immune. It allows you to be immune from the news, from whatever's happening, also from a macro perspective. You follow what the charts are telling you as well. Now, before I continue, I want to show you the history of the stock. So if you're looking at the history of the stock, you will see this basically. This is what I was talking about intraday. It started to push up on day one. As it started to push up on day one, it hit this high. I think it was around 2.4. I remember this. I was flying to Davao when it was happening. Then while we were in the plane, we were all excited. Whoa, it was pushing up. But then we started to land. When we landed after 2 hours, after the lunch break, you saw the stock start to pull down and start to retrace down as well. Then after that, it was sold down massively. Then just looking and showing you guys the charts. Here at the 1.40 level, it started to build a support. How do I know there was a support? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days, 1 week that it was trying to stay and hold off of those levels as well. That's an area for you to be able to analyze the support level. Please remember, for those who have not attended our Stock Smart sessions, the definition of a support is an area where there's a good level of buying, meaning people think at that area it's relatively cheap. Please remember, a support is not an area where it's cheap. It's just an area where people think it's cheap. That's why they start buying. So that's what we saw for 5 days. For around a week, it was holding its ground, it was holding its own back there. Then, after that, though, December 9, it started to break down as well. A breakdown happens, for those who haven't attended our sessions. Sorry, for those who have attended our sessions, and I'm trying to explain this, these are for people who don't have an inkling yet of what technical analysis is. But basically, a breakdown is when sellers overtake buyers. When sellers overtake buyers, the stock is massively pushed down and pushed lower. And then it's brought down with greater force and momentum because sellers just want to sell at they just want to get out of the stock, regardless if it's not at a high price. Please remember the whole context of the stock market. It's all supply and demand. Buyers want to buy high, sellers want to buyers want to buy low, sellers want to sell high. So what does that mean? When stock is breaking down, the sellers are okay even if they don't sell at a higher price anymore. They're willing to sell it at a lower price basta makaalis lang sila dun sa stock na yun. So the stock started to break down. As it started to break down, it started to build another support level here. The support level that it was forming is at around the 1 peso 50 cents range, 1.40 1.045 range. So you can peg it at 1 peso. It was building a support there, and as it built the support there, if you look at it, it was December 10, 11, 12, 13, for 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It stayed in that range for around 2 weeks. So that's how you can gauge that there's a support level there. The fact that for 2 weeks, it has not gone lower anymore. It means that people were starting to pick it up. People already were somehow thinking that it was already cheap at that point in time as well. So that's how you can start gauging it also, that this area, people start buying it. When people start buying it, there's a sense that this is a support level, so you can build your support line there. For those who attended our Stock Smart sessions, you see the indecision here. After the indecision, you see the large green bullish candle. This is already a buy signal denoting that the market has made a decision that there will be a change in direction happening. I'm not sure if I can put a MACD yet, no, this early on, but wala pa masyadong signal at that point. So the only thing that you can point out there is at this point in time, December 20 was there was an indecision at the support. Then after that, the stock started to push higher. So that's a signal that there's a change in direction upward. This is also a buy signal. So one thing that you could watch out for is this. If you buy here, and I've been saying this in all of the Stock Smart sessions, the goal of technical analysis is never to buy at the bottom, because you can never buy a stock at the bottom. That's not true. The goal is not to buy the stock at the bottom. The goal is to buy it when it either is bouncing, if you're a quick trader, or if it's reversing and you are a position trader. And this is an evidence of it starting to bounce, meaning you won't be able to buy it at the lowest price. If you want to buy based on this narrative, you would probably start buying it already because it's starting to bounce from this level. As it started to bounce, you all know also that I pointed it previously that this 1.41 level was the previous resistance. As it's the previous resistance, the previous support, now this is the new resistance. Meaning, if it's the new resistance, there will be some selling pressure. Either two things could possibly happen. The selling pressure will dominate and you can see the stock start to pull down. Or if the selling pressure does not dominate, you will see it break out and that will revert itself to the new support level. So let's see what happened. As it started to push up, this level, you can still hold it because it's not at the support and it's not yet at the resistance, but it was starting to consolidate for 1, 2, 3 days at the start of the year. Then, boom, it pushed up January 3, large push up. It opened at 1.2, then it closed at 1.37 level, which at that point in time was very, very close already to where our new resistance is. So as it hit the resistance, it tried to push up again, but it was still at the resistance, then push up again, but noting that it was a resistance, there was selling that happened, so it started to go down. It closed at 1.4, which was a tad bit lower than where the resistance was. Then after that, there was another indecision candle, but it was lower than the resistance. So think about it. You already see that this is starting to form a resistance level. One thing that for those who've been to our sessions, you know that indecision followed by another red candle would mean that there might be a change in direction downward. But as you notice it here, January 8 to January 9, there was a change in direction, which from the resistance, it started to break out, but with a much larger bullish candle. Let me try to zoom in so you at least have a better context of it as well. So you have this, opened at 1.38, closed at 1.4, making it close above the resistance level already. Now, the next thing that you need to ask yourself here, it's starting to break out already from the previous resistance, but is this strong enough to be the next support? Because if it does not hold, then guess what? The next possible probability is basically this. I'll try to remove this so that you can analyze it easier and better also. The next possible narrative, if this does not hold, then it may just revert back to going back here. And this is what I like to say also for this video. If it does not hold the 1.41 level, then it has a shot again to either retrace back the 125 level over here, or it can go back to 1 peso again. So that's a possible scenarios for Fruitas if the 1.41 level will not hold. So please remember, currently it tried to break out of the 1.4 level, 1.41 level, which it did. Then second day confirmation, there was selling that happened, but the support was strong enough that it closed at 1.45. Then January 14, it closed up at 1.48. Then January 15, it closed down at 1.45. Today, it's slightly up at 1.46 as of that lunchtime. So you have now at least one solid week that it's staying above this support level that we are trying to put at the 1.41 level. So this is good news for it. But again, why am I saying this? If this does not hold and then you own the stock, you bought lower, there's a big chance that it will drop further. You may take profits. If you're the one who bought at the breakout and it does not hold, this will be a chance for you that you need to cut loss because the downside risk will be much, 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 much bigger. So that's me saying it from a pessimistic scenario, that from a pessimistic scenario, if it does not work, if the 1.41 level does not hold, then it could possibly drop to either this level, 1.25, then this level at the 1 peso level. So if you bought early, take profits. If you bought at the breakout, you may need to cut loss. And that's a reality when you go into the world of stock market trading and investing. Cutting losses is always part of the game. Cutting losses, if you're a trader, is something that you need to do. Again, iba yung issue pag investor ka. If you're an investor, as long as you believe in the fundamentals and you're willing to hold it for a longer period of time, then by all means you can do so. But if you are a trader, that could be an area for you to cut loss. Now, let's look at the more optimistic scenario. If it stays above 1.41, the possible target price now is the stock would head back up first, close to its IPO movement near the 1.80, 1.81 level. So what you need to watch out for is if it stays above the 1.41 level, there's a big shot, a big narrative that it goes back to the 1.80, 1.81 level. And based on that, that could be your next target price for those who bought at the breakout of 141 and those who bought at the reversal at the 1.45 level, 1.045 level as well. So two areas, bounce from 1.05, that was one of our buy areas. Second area was the breakout from the 1.41 level. Now you can peg that. If it fails to break out of the 180 level, it could be an area for you to sell already and take profits. If it does not break out from that, if it breaks out from that level, I'll try to make a new video about this also and give you an update where it could possibly go. But basing from the distance of this and this, possible narratives, it can go to either 2.4 or 2.6, 2.4 being that's the highest level of the wick from the previous high, or 2.6 just making a channel off of those support and resistance levels as well. So I guess that's it. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you want to know more of this in-depth, how you analyze charts, I have sessions in different cities around the world: Taiwan, February; Manila, March; April, London; May, Singapore and Doha, Qatar; June, Auckland, New Zealand; July, Sydney, Australia; November, Dubai and Tokyo. All of those details, all of the links on how you can register are in the description box below. And the books via Shopee are also there if you want to learn this from a book reading format. And I know that there are some people who love reading books as well. So we are in the 13-minute mark. I don't know if you guys stayed, if you guys stayed up until this mark. I just want to know, please comment below. I stayed up until 13 minutes. So at least I know people still like consuming content that's not short but long, so that I get to explain more as well. So I guess that's it. Please remember, there's no shortcut to success. You always have to do the daily grind. You always have to build yourself up, spend the time to be able to learn, spend the time to be able to hustle and build your skill. Because I keep saying this all the time, the stock market is not just you about passively leaving your money. It's all about skill. It's all about how good you are deploying skill into it. Because the ability for you to make money is all about how much skill you put into the game. And this is Marvin Germa. I hope this video massively helps you, and it helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.